Life is a better place if you choose to set the pace. I know that it comes with ups and downs. On a daily we have to fight, try to live and to survive. Another day to get the drive. At Spicy with Phina, we understand all your pain. You'll be fine, you'll be okay. You'll be fine. You'll be okay. You'll be okay. You'll be fine. You'll be okay. Spicy with Phina.
When the mother goat chews cords, the offspring watch the movement of her mouth for inspiration. That will be the underlying issue in today's story, where a woman's children made her lose her marriage in the most deceptive manner. This is Spicy with Phina. Let's get to meet my guest, and when we come back, I'll give you the gist. I'll be right back.
At Spicy with Phina, we understand all your pain.
Mrs. Phina is a seasoned accountant and business strategy consultant with over 6 years' experience working with different companies in various industries. She has helped a lot of board and management teams remain resilient in their business despite the economic downturns. Oluwatobi Oludare hails from Osun State. He works as a business analyst and product operations manager. He is a degree holder from Obafemi Awolowo University in Resource Management and a master's degree holder in Risk Management from Lagos State University. With over 4 years of experience, he has consistently optimized processes and elevated customer satisfaction to unprecedented levels on different projects.
At Spicy with Phina, we understand all your pain.
Welcome back. It's Spicy with Phina. As you've met my guests, and as you can see, they're already seated. Mr. Toby, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having
It
me.
feels good to have you here, though.
Same here, ma'am.
Thank you for coming. Ify, how are you?
Very well, thank you.
You're welcome to Spicy with Phina.
Thank you.
I have a story, but I would like to read the story first before we can, embark on the conversation. My husband lost his job and getting another one was so hard. We decided he should come back to Nigeria with the kids. 2 girls, actually. Since we were based abroad, we were actually stabilized, but when he lost his job, we felt he should come back with the children. I returned to Nigeria during the festive season to celebrate our 10 years anniversary with my family. But I noticed a change of attitude in my children towards their father. They were rude, and there was this weird energy. I tried to get them to speak up, but they refused, telling me to go and ask my husband. I talked to their father. He said the girls were keeping bad company and he stopped them from attending parties and going out. But he guessed they are actually paranoid because of that. Few days later, I talked to my girls and tried to explain to them that their dad's reason for being overprotective is for a good cause. But that was when they opened up and said their father doesn't want them to go out because he was sleeping with them. Okay. I confronted my husband and he denied it. I called my parents and pastor, but my daughter still insisted. And my husband still denied. I filed for a divorce and I took my children abroad. You know, initially, I'm not reading the entire story. I just stopped here because I want us to talk about something before we make progress with this particular story. I just wanted us to, because the story actually ended in a different way, which I'm still going to read. But I just wanted to ask questions in terms of the girls. For a girl to open her mouth to say her father raped her or sleeps with them, whether it is true or not, do you think, if it's true, basically, if it's not true, what would be your reaction? Do you think the children, is it that they are not properly trained, or because for you to want to lie against your father, the hatred must have been built up. So for you, Ifunanya, do you think that if this is actually a lie, do you think the children hate their father so much to have lied against him?
Well, first and foremost, we have to look at it from two angles.
Okay.
We'll look at it from, because when we talk about home training now, remember in Africa, we say it takes a community to raise a child. So it's not just the parents alone.
Yeah.
There's also the factor of the environment, which is something we call in behavioral science, we call it social psychology.
Okay.
Now, and another thing again is the peer pressure, because they had friends. You can't rule that one out. You can only train your child in the house.
Okay.
Your child goes to school, goes to church, and sometimes you allow them go to some parties, birthday parties with friends and all of that. You don't know what would have transpired in those phases. So what we have to look at first and foremost is all the factors surrounding the upbringing of those children. And then the next thing we now have to look at is how did the children see the relationship between their father and their mother? If you see a mutual respect between the father and the mother, there is no way as a child, I as an African child raised in Africa, I see the mutual respect between my father and my mother, and I'll just, even if it's true, to even say it will be hard. It's not as if we're trying to encourage people like dampening whatever issues they are having, but there's a place of this respect and regard. And even if you have to say such kind of thing, you will not even want to say the way it's being portrayed in the story. You will want to, first of all, gather facts, because when you say it, people won't really believe you. So you need facts and figures to go with it. So, okay, this is the truth and is what it is.
So let me just ask Toby, do you think the woman did something wrong by just filing for divorce? You know, she took her kids away. Do you think her action was drastic?
I think it may have been, because I think I would just like to backtrack to while they were cutting, right?
Okay.
The children were not in the picture. And a lot went into that, I assume, before they got into marriage, right? So I'm looking at the value system. I'm looking at their belief system. I'm looking at, what made them individuals, that then decided to go to the altar, before they eventually got married. Right? And then I'm looking at, I'm seeing doubts. I'm seeing, a lot of unreserved, doubts, basically. Okay. And, the children came into the picture. You're not very sure of this person. You probably may have been sure of the person, or you may be, hoping that this person turns out to be a positive person along the line. And then, whatever your children now tells you kind of reinforces, your thought about that person. What you think that person could do, or what you think that person could be capable of doing. Right? Because, listening to the story alone, it takes me aback.
Okay, let me just finish the story so we can then continue.
Right.
A few years later, I saw a video of my ex-husband getting married, and I showed it to my daughters. Now, they've divorced. She left Nigeria with her kids.
Okay.
Now, the man is now getting married a few years later. Yes. So she showed the picture to her children, who then said to her that they are very sorry that their father never touched them.
Wow.
Their father never touched them.
You did me right now.
And they lied so they can follow her. that they didn't like Nigeria. And their father wasn't giving them free. Do you get that their father wasn't giving them freedom to do whatever they like? Now the woman is asking, where do I start from? I should have trusted my husband, but I was trying to be a good mother. Now, that now takes me back to my first question. For the children to look at their father in the face and lie, just because you don't like, are there no other ways you can say you don't like Nigeria, you want to leave? Besides, they were not here in the first place. They only came back because of circumstance.
Yeah.
So if they could go to the extent of lying against their father with something as serious as, that means they don't even care if the man had gone to jail. So do you think there are things that may have gone wrong in their upbringing? Because at the end of the day, if there is bond, if there's love, if there's this togetherness, you won't want to hurt your father with such lies. So I just wanted to find out if you think some parents really don't do well, if they don't really do well in terms of, some of them get too busy that they don't have time to train their children. So that's why I wanted your first reaction to this kind of story, because it's really sad when you see things like this happen. So I ask again, from knowing what has happened now, do you think the parents didn't train them well to have, to come up with such? What can you say about their upbringing, man?
Okay, if I were to throw more light,
okay,
I'll say it's not, the fault is not completely in the upbringing from the house.
Okay.
I'll say the parents did what they could do to bring up their daughters, but the only problem was, as they were bringing up their daughters, remember, first and foremost, they were well off, and second, they were not based within Africa.
Yeah.
They were based outside. Africa. The way we think outside Africa is different from the way we think in Nigeria. Take, for instance, you will meet a Nigerian that have stayed abroad for long.
Okay.
When the person comes into Nigeria and the person wants to greet an elder, even if it's a Yoruba man, he will never remember that he's supposed to prostrate, which is the normal way. And they'll be like, Baba, how you doing? Baba. All those kind of things. So the environment there preaches a certain way of life, which is different from the innate values of an African. Now, you are an African out there training your children within such soil. You should know that your training will be different from when you did it in Nigeria. If it's Nigeria, even if you didn't train him in the house, before he gets to church, someone else will train him. But there, they mind their business. So if it's whatever, it's more like garbage in, garbage out. It's what you give, you receive. And they are going to schools. These schools have rules. They even try to tell them even things about transgender, and even tell them right now, you shouldn't name a child a particular kind of name that is identified to a particular sex and all of that. You need to let them be free. When they grow up, they will decide if they want to be male or female.
How can you be deciding when God has created you?
Exactly. Now that's the kind of environment you are training that child in. And then you not carry that child. It's like when you carry fish from water and now brought it out to land. The fish will almost want to die. Why? Because it's like a child where you do nonsense abroad. I can only look at you and say, I will spank you, Junior. And then you land Nigeria. You can't mess up. Sorry, I have to use
spank will spank where?
That, you not be spanking. We will flog you. That's how we do it here.
So let me ask again. Do you think the woman now, knowing what has happened, do you think she should call the husband or her ex-husband to say, I'm so sorry, I know you're getting married to somebody else, but this is what happened, and my kids have confirmed to me that. Do you think it's wise to call her husband, her ex-husband, to tell him the truth now, Toby? And if you are the man, what will be your reaction? Anyway, while you are thinking about it, let's just go on a quick break. Let's go on a quick break, and when we come back, we'll hear what Toby has to say. We'll be right back.
At Spicy with Phina, we understand all the pains.
Welcome back to Stay Spicy with Phina. We're discussing deception. So, Toby, back to you. Now, we're looking at if the woman calls you, if you were to be the man, of course you will not be the man. God will not let this kind of thing happen to any of us. So, and the woman calls to say, okay, I'm sorry, my kids actually lied, and this is what the truth is. I want to see what your reaction will be like, and if really deep down, what will actually be your emotional response to the fact that the children you loved so much had to lie against you?
Firstly, I can't start imagining, the emotional strain that that man must have actually been through before he eventually got married, or is getting married to someone else. I mean, but I would actually if I was the man, right, I think there are some reality checks I would do on myself, in order not to take the mess of that marriage, into my new marriage.
Exactly.
Right? So, I understand my responsibility as a man. I understand that, I understand the purpose of marriage. I mean, those are the kind of questions I am going to ask myself, right? And I would actually begin to look into my intention, right? And my being intentional in raising a family. Because if the parents were actually intentional about raising their family, right? They understand the principles, that guides family, right? They understand the purpose of going, of becoming a family, right? I think a lot of things, it may not have even gotten to this point. Yeah, because, like she said, charity begins at home, right? And you don't give what you don't have, right? As a parent. These days, we young people just get into marriage. We don't know what marriage is about. We don't learn. We don't have, marriage mentors. We are just expecting that, okay, I love this person. Let's get married, at this particular age, I'm off the market, and that. But I don't, really understand what the institution of marriage is about. And I don't grow, I don't learn, right? So, and if I don't have these things, I will not be able to raise my kids properly. That is just it. So I think the onus, is on the man himself, right? I don't even see, the woman having, she may have actually, filed for divorce because, it's coming from, an emotional place, and then she has to actually protect her children, right? But I will take it back, to my responsibility as a father. Have I really impacted these children? Did I love them? While my children were actually growing up, did I affirm them with words, that could actually speak life into their future, right? Because, these children will not think about how much sacrifice I have given to them, how much money, paying for their school fees and all these things. They may not see these things, right? But it's the feeling, how I make them feel as a father, how I make their mother feel as, their mother, that really determines, the that future state.
That memory.
Exactly. So, as the father, did he really love the mother as he should?
That's another thing.
In the sight of the children.
In the sight of the children.
Well, because
if the man is even the type that gallivants, like,
yes,
because I was wondering if for them to come up with such two things, what do you model before your kids?
Yeah.
If you're the type that jump from pillar to post, pillar to, that's how this one they work out too much. Exactly. And let's just say he did it. For the wife, no, because now you have dated this man for a long time. Even if your kids said that, you should know the person you married.
Yes.
This person, you've dated this person, and you're married for 10 years.
Yes.
You should know, this is not what Toby can do. No. All the while, I've not caught Toby with any woman. I've not, the woman should be, for her to just make that drastic decision, pick her kids, and, that means there were loopholes.
Yeah.
One of the things I would like to point out here is the fact that if you watch, the man and the woman were separated for a while.
Yeah.
That's why separation is not good. I always say it, even to those around me, I'll be like, okay, it's good because of daily bread, we have to be here and there. But we have to create this synergy such that it's not going to look like we're so apart for too long.
Especially when kids are involved.
Especially when kids are involved, because it allows something to creep in. And you already have, as a woman, I won't blame her, because probably over there abroad, she's already having doubts. How am I sure this man is not already doing something over there?
Exactly.
And the man himself is also having doubts. How am I sure this woman is not over there? This one that she even asked me to come back to Nigeria with the kids. So that means she wants to be free. She wants to, So there was already that seed because of that long time separation. So families should strive to always stay together.
Sure. These children need to actually, be shown. They need to be shown the proper way of life.
That's a thing.
Right? There are some things they need to start knowing. I mean, for you to actually be able to accuse someone of rape, you are, should I say, you're actually capable of, even learning better things, right? In the place of that. So, there's a need to, even the Bible says, do not be conformed, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind. So the mother needs to bring these children to the place where they are constantly being exposed, to positive things, right? They need to actually see love, the way, children should see it. Right, so if the mother probably does not have time for the children in the first place, she needs to create the time intentionally now, right? And then she needs to build. She needs to get the children into a community where they actually see love, for what it is. Yes, so I think that way the children get to grow and become better. Because I mean, there's this adage that says. Broken people break the society or something, so so there are times where I see situations where divorce happens, or a guy breaks up with a lady, and then the guy wants to get into another relationship immediately, or the lady wants to get into another relationship immediately without really healing.
Okay.
Right? Without really healing, without, they just, so they tend to carry the mess of a particular, relationship to another one, so, so they call it rebound, you actually rebound, from the person you are just meeting, so, so is that person you used to get better? Right? So, I mean, the children actually need, they need to be shown love properly. Then the father. Man.
It's not easy.
Yeah, it is not easy. I must say, right? It is not easy, but he is still the father of the children, right? So he is still their father. He still owes responsibility to them. In fact, firstly to God, and then to them. Yes. So he still owes that responsibility, and like she said, he would need to process. He would need to take his time.
Heal properly. Please don't abandon them.
Exactly. Okay. There may also be suspicions that, if I bring these children into my family now, won't they influence my own children? Exactly. Then
well, they can stay with their mom now, even if he's, doing all he can as a father.
One way or the other, they actually still have to mix up. We were not built as humans to live in isolation.
Right.
So they still need to mix up one way or the other. Right? They still have to, what's the word for it now?
You still have to socialize.
Yeah, that's the word. Socialize, right? Exactly.
All right. So if I get you correctly, you should at least forgive, as much as it takes a while.
Yes.
Or you should just have it at the back of his mind that they're still his kids.
Definitely.
Let's have your brief.
And sorry, before we go, if he doesn't forgive, he is bound to repeat that cycle in his new marriage.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It will most likely repeat that same cycle, that led those children to the place where they feel they are not loved.
And then they
just
rebel
throw anything.
Somehow.
Exactly.
You're right. So let's have your final words for the woman, for the children, and the husband.
Okay, for the woman, she should actually ask for forgiveness. And like you said, forgive herself.
Okay.
Forgive the children. And she shouldn't allow herself go into mental depression, because she might be thinking, where did I go wrong in raising
these kids and
I defended them. True. I did everything. She should just let go of everything.
Okay.
Heal properly. It's actually a healing season for everyone. And the children, they need to be rehabilitated. How will I put it? I know over there they have a lot of therapy, but this one goes beyond just therapy. If they are Christians, or even if they are Muslims, I know for the Muslims, they have some special imams that help people with therapy. And then if they're Christians, you can go the route of prayers, ensuring that they are in a very good Bible-believing church that would shape their minds again. And then
to the husband.
The husband, like I said, has to forgive himself. And I know, hence, we are dealing with Africa. No matter where these things happen, there's always going to be something you have to do traditionally at home because it's a taboo. So he will have to stand in the place for his family, handle whatever that he needs to do, but he needs to take his time and heal. We will not give him any time frame. Heal properly and accept your children back.
Thank you so much, guys. You guys have done so well to this topic. Thank you. We have a gift for you. For coming on Spicy with Phina, we have a gift for you. Okay, so Toby, this is for you.
Thank you so much. Oh, right.
Thank you. Okay, so this is for you. Thank you. There you go. Thank you so much. We've actually exceeded our time, but if you're watching and you're the writer of the story, please forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. We know what the kids did are actually very, very bad, but forgive yourself. Try to find a way to speak to your husband and let there be love again. As much as you've lost your husband to another woman, you will definitely find another. But you need to pay closer attention to your children now, because for them to go that route, there's a lot that you don't even know about. So please kindly pay a closer attention to your children, and please do the needful. Forgive yourself. Free your heart, and I believe everything will be fine in due time. We have to go now until I come your way again next time with another interesting episode of Spicy with Phina. Please follow us on all our social media handles at Spicy with Phina on Facebook and Instagram. If you have stories, please share your stories to spicywithphina@gmail.com. And if you like to come on the show, please call the numbers on your screen. I have to go now. I've taken so much time. I'm so sorry about that. Have a blessed day. Bye.
You'll be okay. You'll be fine. You'll be okay. You'll be okay. You'll be okay. Spicy with Phina is a talk show that addresses life issues. Free to share with us.